Full time. Doing gang things. Living super clean. That done came up. Can't control us. One time for the men doing cane things. Dead fresh to the T, living super clean. 3 times for my foe that done came up. 4 times cause the man can't control us. 1 time for the men doing cane things. Dead fresh to the T, living super clean. 3 times for my foe that done came up. 4 times cause the man can't control us. Look at you done came up now. Get it how you live, mess the game up now. Ain't messing with yoga, but get the flame up. Hey, used to be Toby, but got your name back now. I see ya, paid under pressure. 25 lighters, got them all on the dresser. If it ain't for you, ain't for you then. If you a lame or a sucker, wanna dress you then. Grown up now, bump the childish ways. Got a wife and a bunch of kids to raise. Punch a clock side, hustle or a business you endure to ensure that all the bills is paid. Slow clap for your homeboy, could've turned out like your homeboy. Being on the same block, cooking up the same rock on the cell block lot with your homeboy. But no, you had vision, you had gold. Brand new you on the old time road, take care. Home where you bust your low. Black men don't cheat, screaming party ho. Real men talk, real king ways. Still in captivity, but minds ain't slave. Got a little wisdom, boy, you PD grade. Giving out the knowledge on the stoop these days. 1 time for the men doing cane things. Dead fresh to the T, living super clean. 3 times for my foe that done came up. 4 times cause the man can't control up. 1 time for the men doing cane things. Dead fresh to the T, living super clean. 3 times for my foe that done came up. 4 times cause the man can't control up. 1 time for the folk that have moved up. Even if you had a slow start screwed up. Used to gang bang, now homie brewed up. Had a little plan, I had them blew up. Look at you like a man right now. Dressed to the T, smelling like a grand right now. And you ain't got nothing from a handout now. Just faith and hard work gets it planned out now. You could've took a bunch of dusty rolls. The hand dealt with a bunch of cards to fold. To stay hot while the world is freezing cold. The same plot, but the story's never old. Slow clap for your kinfolk. Could've been asking what your info. Prosecutor could be trying to do you in for the 2020 twins, so you passing out the info. But no, you had purpose, you had plans. I ain't throwing nothing, I'ma say these bands won't impress y'all, don't need no fans. That ain't my God, who is that man? This real man talk, real king ways. Still in captivity, but minds ain't slave. Got a little wisdom while you peep these grades. Giving out the knowledge on the stoop these days. 1 time for the men doing cane things. Dead fresh to the T, living super clean. 3 times for my foe that done came up. 4 times cause the man can't control up. 1 time for the men doing cane things. Dead fresh to the T, living super clean. 3 times for my foe that done came up. 4 times cause the man can't control up. Yeah, real man. Sheesh. Yeah. Doing cane things. Living super clean. That it came up.
1 time for my king doing king things. Mom these hoes cause he know he got a good thing. I submit and I cook and I clean and I never hold back on that pop. I'ma let it rain. Made me honest, I got a ring. All praises to the most high, let it sing. A real man able, sister never came. And I ain't going nowhere, this is not a game. Look at you, girl, you lonely right now. Settling for bums instead of men the most high. He provide and protect so he get our respect. And he leading us aboard when them chariots fly. I don't really think you hear me though. You can't cross this bridge on some billy goats. Let them save you in the end like a Seminole. Be help me, shout it, let the silly go.
1 time for the men doing cane things. Dead fresh to the T, living super clean. 3 times for my foe that done came up. 4 times cause the man can't control up. 1 time for the men doing cane things. Dead fresh to the T, living super clean. 3 times for my foe that done came up. 4 times cause the man can't control up.
Shalom and shalom, sisters and cousins, and praise the Lord, saints. It's your favorite housewife, Miss Mono. Here we go. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Stay right here. Don't move off. Okay, my bad, you guys. Stand for the phone. I am rolling solo dolo. Just in case you can't tell, it's always a little more hectic around here when I am by myself. So let me get everything up and running. Give people time to get in here, really. How are y'all doing this evening? I hope that you all have had a great day. I hope that this Thursday has been kind to you. It has been kind to me and my family. Praise the Lord. Okay. All right. And let me just fix my Facebook. I'm sorry, guys. It's like little stuff that I usually, that my husband would usually help me with, but he is not available right now. So I am thugging it out by myself. Okay. All right. Got that going. I do have a good show for you guys today. Our main topic, hold on, y'all. I'm sorry. There we go. Okay. All right. Okay, our main topic, thugs, hoes, and rappers. Okay, we're gonna continue our conversation from last week. And this week we'll be focusing on the hoes. Okay, this week we're gonna be talking about the hoes. Let's see. First of all, please allow me to introduce myself. I go by Miss Mono's World and Miss Content Creator through Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, and now I'm on Snapchat. Yes, I'm on Snapchat, all the places the content creators be. So please follow, friend, share, subscribe, whatever applies to wherever channel you are on. If you are not on the YouTube, please head over to the YouTube at Monologue McGad, MONOLOG That way you can see everything that's going on all the time. You can hear. I do have some clips today. Well, not clips so much as pictures that I'll be showing. So yeah, head over to the YouTube so you can see all of that good stuff. What else? I think that's it. Shout out to my audience on Messiah TV. If you have not downloaded the Messiah TV app, go ahead and do that on your Roku, your Fire Sticks, your smart TVs. Okay. All right. Let's see. All right. A few things before we get to the main topic, but somehow they all kind of come together and work together. Okay. This first thing, okay. I want to be mad about it, but I can't. Like, I want to feel some kind of way, but I can't. Okay. And I'm going to tell you why. All right. Let me show y'all what I'm talking about first. I don't want to go that far. Okay. Here we go. Here we go. Your girl, Taylor Swift. Where's the headline? Taylor Swift tapped for lead role in Bodyguard remake. Okay. Now, I don't know how many of y'all are old enough to remember the original Bodyguard, but it was Whitney Houston. It was Kevin Costner. It was a lot of singing and blah, blah, blah. It was great. Here's why I want to be mad, but I'm not. Because instead of Black people making our own stories, we went and turned Cinderella black. Who else did we turn black? Snow White. We turned whoever we could turn black, we turned them black, right? And in the name of representation, we need representation. We need representation. And it never sat right with me. Do Black girls deserve representation? Absolutely. Do we deserve to see positive images of ourselves in the media? Absolutely. But do we not deserve our own images? Like, why do our images have to be a redoing of someone else's image? Does that make any sense, what I'm saying? Like, why couldn't we just write our own Black love story? Why do we have to take Cinderella and totally redo that? That was already somebody else's story. And The Little Mermaid. And I know y'all clapped and hollered and, oh, look, it's a black Little Mermaid. It's a black Little Mermaid. Yeah, but now that the tables are turning, my love, and they want to take this classic Whitney Houston movie and put Taylor Swift in the lead. And here's what's even crazier about it to me, right? Because when Whitney Houston was there, you had this black woman and you had Kevin Costner, who was a white man. They were, it turned into an interracial relationship. Well, now with this remake with Taylor Swift, there's no black male lead. They're talking about Ben Affleck and whoever else is hot right now amongst them. You understand what I'm saying? Hold on, let me see. All these ads. I'm so freaking tired of ads, bro. Like, I'm so tired of every time you turn around, you can't do nothing without seeing an ad. Okay, it doesn't name. Oh, Brad Pitt, Ben Affleck, and Tom Cruise. So there's no black people in the story at all now? None at all? We're just gonna totally make this a not black story. And again, though, how can you be mad about that? Like, how can you be mad about that? I don't want to say we did it to them, but that's kind of what happened, right? Took their stories, gave them a tan, and called it ours. So, yeah. The way of the world. The way of the world. All right. So for my next story, I was scrolling along Facebook this morning and I saw where people were talking about Sierra doing an interview where she was talking about Russell asking for baby number 5, like, oh, he needs to stop. Ha ha ha. I just had the last one. Ha ha ha. And it was a cute story. Okay. If you've been married and you've had babies and you've had your husband want you to have more babies, then you get it. I mean, it's banter between married people. But the comments, hold on, where's the comment? Okay, here's one of the comments that I'm talking about. I hope Sierra gets support for this. It's sad that in 2025, it's sad that it's 2025 and women are constantly being pressured into having kids, but are not given resources to support them or the time and grace to recover from the physical toll it takes. My friend has a 3-year-old and a useless husband who does absolutely nothing to help with the physical, emotional, or mental labor of being a parent. And he is also on the campaign trail trying to pressure her into having a second kid. Okay. See, and this, me and my husband talked about this before, right? And because we were talking about married women and, how we need support and more voices online. And this is the thing. This is why it's hard to be a married woman online, because you can't live in your truth. Like, you can't be honest about some of the not so beautiful parts of marriage, or you can't even joke. Like, this is beautiful to me. Like, this woman husband want her to have another baby. You know what I'm like? That's beautiful. There's nothing, but you can't even joke about this. You can't even put it forth as a conversation, because here come the freaking haters. And this is not even her story. My friend. But people will look for any reason to talk negatively about marriage, to have something to say negative about marriage. And it's just really like, step away, Sierra. Her body, her choice. 4 kids is a lot. I mean, it's just, it's ridiculous to me. And so, that's why it's listen, I can post something on TikTok, and if it's anything positive, about my husband, about being married or anything like that. The views are low. The comments are usually negative, if there are any at all. But I see every day where women get on TikTok complaining about the men in their lives and how they're so horrible. And he did this to me and he did that to me. And so yeah, it's hard to be happily married because you want to tell people about it. You want to share. You're happy. If I had bought a brand new car and I was bragging about that, it'd be nothing but congratulations. If I had got another degree, it'd be nothing but congratulations. If I bought a house all by myself, it'd be nothing but congratulations. But this happily married woman is telling you her happily married husband is still very much interested in her. And all of a sudden, here come all the horrible stories. You can't ever post anything. You can't ever. Somebody's always going to have something to say. And it's really horrible. But much luck to them. I love to see it. I love to see happily married people. I love to see it. So, we'll see. All right, y'all. Like, share, subscribe, turn on your notifications so you know when we go live here at the House of Mono. I'm live on TikTok right now. Go ahead, tap that screen, like, and share the live. All right, y'all. Oh, I didn't know it was choppy. Okay. All right. It was raining like crazy. It just started raining like crazy out of nowhere not too long ago. I love for it to be warm. I don't know how I feel about the warmth and the rain. But okay. Let's talk about this Shannon Sharp situation, okay? I don't know how you couldn't know. Maybe you don't know, but there has been a lawsuit filed against Shannon Sharp. Hold on, let me find the okay. There's been a lawsuit filed against Shannon Sharp. The lawsuit is for $50 million, right? And when I first heard about it, it sounded like another regular run of the mill extortion scheme, if you will. It sounded like an extortion scheme because it was stressed that they were in a consensual but rocky relationship. Okay. You know what I'm saying? A lot of relationships are consensual but rocky. That's nothing to file a lawsuit over, right? Like, you don't get to sue somebody because y'all broke up. Well, upon further discovery, apparently the lawsuit is focusing on one particular incident. And in this particular incident, they were already engaging in the act. I'm trying not to get kicked off TikTok live here, so work with me, y'all, okay? They were already engaging in the act, and then he wanted to flip around and do things out the back door, in the back door. You understand what I'm saying? Okay. And she's like, okay, cool, just wear a condom. Apparently he did not, honor that request. And so that's why she's filing the lawsuit. Let's I'm gonna read it and then we'll go from there, okay? NFL Hall of Famer Shannon Sharp. This is from People. NFL Hall of Famer Shannon Sharp has been accused of rape and sexual assault in a lawsuit filed by a woman in Nevada court. The plaintiff, she was gone by Jane Doe. She is not a Jane Doe anymore. I do have her picture. I'll show it to you guys in a minute, but she is an OnlyFans model. The plaintiff, who is suing under the name Jane Doe, alleged that Sharp, 56, who now works for ESPN, raped her on multiple occasions over the course of a nearly 2-year rocky consensual relationship. I feel sorry for men. I feel sorry for men because what are we doing? You know what I'm saying? What are we doing? The woman alleges that Sharp also recorded their sexual encounters without her consent and shared the recording with others. Okay, so in another, hold on. I don't want to jump ahead of myself, so let's keep going. Okay. A woman can say yes to consensual relations with a man 99 times, but when she says no even once, that no means no, the complaint states. The defendant, Shannon Sharp, a man who is accustomed to getting what he wants, completely fails to understand this basic concept. The woman, now a Nevada resident, says she met Sharp when she was 22 years old at a gym in Los Angeles in 2023. He's 56. She's 22. Wait a minute. Was he 56 at the time? Okay, so he's 56 now. 2023 was only 2 years ago. So what were you, 55, 54? And she's 22. I'm tired of y'all acting like just because a girl is over 18 that she's fully capable mentally, physically, and emotionally of having a relationship that a 50-something-year-old man should expect. That's crazy to me. It will never make sense to me. You're talking about this man is old enough to be her father. But let's move on. She claims he made multiple advances toward her in subsequent visits to the gym before she eventually gave in. If it was a problem, then the time to complain was when he was making the advances. The time to come to the public is when he was making the advances. All you had to do was jump on X or whatever and say Shannon Sharp keeps harassing me at the gym and he won't leave me alone. But you didn't. Okay. Sharp allegedly asked the woman to sign a non-disclosure agreement before she could meet up with him, but dropped the request after she pushed back, the lawsuit states. And so Shannon Sharp, sir, how, I don't want to say dumb, but that's dumb. Like, if you know that it's in your best interest to have someone sign a non-disclosure agreement before you get involved with them, why would you fall back off of that? Is that not suspicious? And now, as a woman, okay, if you asking me to sign an NDA and I just met you, I would be leery of that myself. But in this situation, Shannon Sharp is the one that has something to lose here. So it is in his best interest to get this NDA signed. And I'm sure he has made other people sign NDAs. So why he chose to continue this relationship with her after she refused to sign the NDA, I will never understand, but I'm sure he is regretting it so hard right now. The lawsuit recounts a subsequent alleged incident during which she claims Sharp became violent with her and threatened to kill her after she showed up late to his home. He demanded complete control over her time and body, expecting her to be at his house on his schedule or at his command whenever he called, the suit alleges. It's Shannon Sharp. It's Shannon Sharp. Okay, this man is a multimillionaire. He's Shannon freaking Sharp. Like, what do you mean? Why? I'm not saying it's right, but do you not see this is where all this talk of equality and this disillusion of some kind of fairy tale perfect world where everyone is the same, no matter your socioeconomic status, no matter what, we're all the same. That's a lie. And as long as we keep teaching our girls these lies, they will never understand that, listen, if you don't want to deal with this certain type of behavior, you avoid this certain type of man. That's all I'm saying. In 2024, both Sharp and the plaintiff each individually moved to Nevada. Let's see. Okay, the suit references the time in 2024, September 2024. Sharp says he mistakenly began live streaming himself on Instagram, having sex with a woman. The plaintiff states that this encounter with another woman, the encounter was with another woman, and she was humiliated and began to pull away. Okay, so he started calling her so much that, she felt like she had to leave the state all the time. The suit then describes an incident in October 2024, which Sharp allegedly forced the plaintiff into a car and took her to her apartment. The plaintiff alleges that Sharp then forced her to perform oral before raping her through the back way. And then in January 2025, the plaintiff claims that Sharp asked her to come to her apartment to give her a combined Christmas and birthday present. Once there, the plaintiff alleges in the complaint that he began to rape her and refused to wear protection. So apparently, according to I think I was listening to Tasha K, and she was saying that this lawsuit has been in the works for like a few months already. He initially offered her $10 million, but the, I guess, backdoor part prompted her to believe she could get the $50 million. She is represented by Tony Busby, so I'm sure that he had some kind of saying or input on the amount of the lawsuit, right? So of course Shannon Sharp is saying nothing ever went on. Supposedly there's a tape that's supposed to be very damning to Shannon Sharp, and he came out and was like, show the tape, but show the whole tape. Don't just show those 30 seconds, show the whole tape. And now let me show you the accuser. Let me show you the accuser, okay? And a lot of people, I'm not gonna say a lot of people, but a lot of Black people are saying that he on his own with this one. Okay, y'all see her right here. Hold on, y'all see her. That's Shannon Sharp's accuser. That's Shannon Sharp's accuser. Shannon Sharp's accuser confronted him over the July 2025 assault with a newly released text message showing the woman told him, "No means no, Shannon. Don't tell Sharp in the message. I cried when you left because I begged you to put a condom on and not put it in my and you didn't listen. I don't care what our history is." She added, "No means no, Shannon." She went to tell Sharp, "I don't care how you process this." And in response, Sharp asked if he could call her later. It's unclear if the two were able to talk about the matter on the phone. Most of the messages show what appears to be a kinky, consensual relationship between the two. So, see, here's what happens. Oh, I hope I didn't take down the wrong thing. Okay. All right, here we go. Okay, Brianna, shalom and shalom, sis. Thank you for joining me. Here's what happens when you get rid of boundaries and guidelines. And here's what happens when you say, I don't need the law of God. I don't need God telling me what to do. I can make my own decisions. I'm grown. Okay? Things like this are allowed to happen because there is a reason that you are not supposed to have sex until marriage. There's a reason why you are supposed to shun the very appearance of evil. Okay? And like I tell y'all, like I tell my daughters, do not go behind closed doors with a man that you are not ready to go there with, okay? But this girl is way past that. Like, she's on OnlyFans. She's recording it. She's making a living off of this, okay? So we are talking about another breed altogether. That being said, it will always befuddle me how a woman can claim to be assaulted in that way by a man and still continue a relationship with that man. I'm sorry. I've been in situations where I've been made to feel uncomfortable. I've been assaulted, and at no time ever did I ever want to be around those men again. Like, I wanted to get away from them and get far, far away from them. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, at no time was I like, oh, well, let me call up so-and-so and see how he doing. Never. Like, I pray to this day to never run into anyone who's ever done anything like that to me. Why would I want to be around this person? And see, but this is like the common thread in all these lawsuits. It's always in the midst of these relationships. And so if you're in a relationship where you guys are already having relations, where do you draw the line? And here's what I'm gonna say as a man. My advice to the brothers: the first time she tries something with you, like try to play that yes no game, leave. Leave. It's not a game. We're talking about $50 million here. It's not a game. Okay. And for some of you people who don't have enough money to pay for it, because trust me, if he wasn't Shannon, first of all, if he wasn't Shannon Sharp, he would have never like even been in this girl's orbit. This girl would have never even looked his way. Okay. But if he wasn't Shannon Sharp and something like this did happen, he would be in jail. In jail, directly to jail. She would have called the police on him so fast it wouldn't have been funny. And it's so sad that something as precious as something that's supposed to be precious, something as intimate as relations between a man and a woman now has become a litigious obstacle course. And that's crazy to me. I don't understand that. But this is why we need rules and boundaries. Because if there would have been, if the rules and boundaries, if there would have been rules and boundaries, then none of this would have ever happened. And why stick around? I will never understand that. Even with Harvey Weinstein, one of the ladies who sued him claimed they were in a relationship for 2 years and he repeatedly assaulted her. How are you letting this happen years at a time? The only way I could ever understand any kind of sympathy in this situation is if you're talking about a stay-at-home mom who didn't have a job. She didn't have a way to make an income. She had to stay to keep a roof over her and her kids' head. That I get. Yes, by all means, burn the house down with him in it. Okay. No, we ride at dawn. But for this makes no sense to me. And I'm scared that if this doesn't get some kind of, if we don't get this under control, this whole Me Too movement, this whole, anytime I want to say that you assaulted me, I can say it. Like we have to get that under control. Or it's gonna be, these men are gonna have hell to pay. What are we gonna do? We're gonna have to have body cams now. They're gonna start putting body cams on people when you want to go on a date. Then on top of it, he lists to be a part of the alphabet community. Okay, so and he there's audio going around of him talking to his boyfriend. There have been talks of how come he's never seen with a woman in public, but always a man. I want to do a deep dive, right? I'm going to do a deep dive though, because this, I don't want to call it a phenomenon, but like this pattern that we see of rich, successful men being hypersexual, it's a thing. Like it's a thing. Like when people get to a certain point of riches and esteem and power, they feel like the world is open to them and they can have whatever they want and nobody's supposed to say anything about it. This dates back to the time of Roman emperors, and I'm sure before that. So yes, definitely. Like, share, subscribe, turn on your notifications so you know when we go live here at the House of Mono. Let's see. Okay. All right. Yes. All right. Let's hop into our main topic. Okay. And we're talking about thugs, hoes, and rappers. And today we're going to focus on the hoes. We talked about the thugs last week. And black women being the new thugs, how we're always fighting everywhere, But this week we're going to be talking about the hoes. And here, let me just say this, right? We're gonna we're going to start with the hypersexualization of Black women. That's where I'm going to start my talk at. Because it's not just a thing of, oh, Black women are promiscuous, all these Black women walking around with these BBLs and twerking everywhere, and what's wrong with them? They're just da 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 da. No, it's not just that. Okay, it's not just that. There are a lot of Black women in the social media space, in the media space every day, but there's a certain reason why there are only certain ones that are constantly put in our faces. Okay. All right, let's read this article here. We'll go through this article and talk about it. The historical roots of the sexualization of Black women and girls. Okay. All right. Last week we explored how the way that our society views Black girls as more mature and less innocent than their white peers may allow predators such as R. Kelly to exploit them. Research has shown that Black girls are viewed through a hypersexual lens and as a result are less likely to believe when they report sexual assault. This begs the question, where exactly did this belief system come from? Like many issues involving race in our country, the view of Black women and girls as hypersexual has its roots in racism. Understanding how our culture came to believe that Black women and girls were more sexually advanced can help us to eradicate this harmful way of thinking and protect all women and girls from sexual violence. But I hate when they do that, because we're not talking about all. We're not talking about all. Can we focus on anything? Before the slave trade took hold in America, European travelers to Africa were both fascinated and appalled by the dress and practices of the Africans that they encountered there. And now put a bookmark in that, right? Considering that we are told that we were brought here from Africa, I would like to bring to mind that even way before this, the Most High God had passed his laws for his women to dress modestly, to carry themselves in a modest fashion. The women, the Israelite women, were giving rules and regulations as to how to conduct themselves. Do you not see this as a reason why? This sounds like a great reason right here for us to be modest and cover ourselves, right? They were fascinated and appalled by the dress and practices of the Africans that they encountered there. The minimal amounts of clothing worn by Africans, and they want to put appropriate in a hot climate. The fact that some tribes practice polygamy and the seemingly suggestive tribal dances led the Europeans to believe that Africans were sexually lewd. William Smith wrote that African women were hot, constituted ladies who were continually contriving stratagems how to gain a lover. The initial stereotype of Black women as sexually promiscuous arose from these writings. Later, these notions were used to justify enslaving Africans. It's plain as day. And this is, even going this far back, you can see the reason for modesty. You see the reason for the law. And I know this is a sidebar, but I just have to take it because, God never gives us a law without a good reason. God is not sitting around just thinking of things to tell us not to do, to stop us from, living our best life or enjoying our full life on earth. No, not at all. You see what captured the Europeans when they were colonizing Africa. The scantily clad women, the suggestive dances. But if you had no business being over there, even back then, from the beginning of time, it's been a thing. We're not supposed to be doing this anyway. During the era of slavery in the United States, the idea that black women had insatiable appetites for sex was used to justify the rape of enslaved women by their owners. For owners, this practice had the added effect of producing additional enslaved people, which was an economy within itself. Like them breeding with slaves. Let me tell y'all a story. Wait, let me read this paragraph and I'm going to tell you a story. Under the laws of the time, any child born to an enslaved person would be enslaved. As a result, an owner would be able to increase his personal wealth through committing horrific crimes. Because enslaved people were considered property, enslaved women could not legally be raped under the law at the time. In contrast, enslaved men who engaged in relations with white women, whether consensually or forcibly, would be put to death. Okay, there's a lawsuit. I don't remember the name of the woman, but there was a lawsuit filed by a black woman to free her and her children because her father was a British commander. He was some big wig in the British Army or something like that. So she was able to come over here and sue for her freedom because of who her father was. Okay. And at that time, after that lawsuit happened and she won her freedom, then the law was enacted that if your mother was a slave, you are a slave too. Yeah, that wasn't just for no reason. They didn't change your lineage from patriarchal to matriarchal for no reason. Yeah, they did it to keep the enslaved enslaved. Yeah, just because, if you wanted to know where that came from, that's why. Other factors during the slavery era led to the view that black women and girls were highly sexual. First, enslaved women and girls were frequently pregnant. This was encouraged as a way to increase the number of enslaved people on a plantation and often rewarded. When an enslaved woman or girl became pregnant, it was often used as proof that she had an insatiable sexual appetite. At the same time, enslaved people were regularly put on auction blocks in naked or nearly naked states. The display of black women stood in stark contrast to white women who were clothed nearly head to toe. It reinforced the idea that white women were modest and pure, while black women were immodest and sexually lewd. And so, see, now we're talking about a time when we were forced to do the things that you see black women doing on social media, some of them for free, some of them for a like, for a click, for some attention. Standing on an auction block naked, forcibly, women and girls. We're not talking about just grown women, we're talking about girls. Like I need this whole sexual liberation is a lie. It's a lie. The idea of sexual liberation is not one that you just thought of on your own, like, oh, I need to be free to sleep with whoever I want to sleep with. No, don't you see how this has been planted in your psyche since before you were even born? Before you were even born, it was already determined by this world that you were born into, that you as a black woman were going to be this. After the Civil War and the end of slavery, the sexual victimization of black women and girls did not end. The crime of rape was so common, yet from the end of Civil War until the 1960s, no Southern white male was convicted. No Southern white male was convicted if assaulted by a black man. Many black women and girls did not report the crime to authorities for fear that the assailant would be put to death. Does that sound like familiar to us? Always complaining about the creepy uncle who get a little too handsy. Always complaining about that one cousin who want to hug you a little bit too long and nobody says anything about it. We've been going through this stuff for years and I just don't, it's like we keep getting worse and worse and worse. We're not getting better and better and better. We went from having 66% of black children born to two-parent families. So now we got something like 73% of children, black children born to single mothers. Where's all this sexual liberation getting us? The only reason you were ever liberated sexually as a black woman is because it profited the slave owner. That's it. That's all. If it weren't for that, then who knows? You know what I'm saying? Like, who knows what your sexuality would be? But that's the only reason that the idea of sexual liberation is even a thing. So I want to talk about hold on, where are we going here? Okay. So I want to talk about the another aspect of I don't know what to call it, right? Because at this point it's not all voluntary. Like, the stuff that I'm talking about is not voluntary. But the things that we are doing now, we are doing on our own and of our free will. So I'm sure many of you have heard of Sarah Baartman. She's an African lady who was kidnapped and basically toured around Europe as a sex object. She was paraded around as a sex object because of the size of her bottom and her breast. Okay. So when are we going to start reading? Okay, here we go. This is from FIU News. Baartman, a Caucasian woman from South Africa, left her native land in the early 1800s for Europe. It's unclear whether she went willingly or was forced to do so. I've never heard that. I've always heard that she was forced to go. Showmen exhibited her throughout Europe, where in an embarrassing and dehumanizing spectacle, she was forced to sing and dance before crowds of white onlookers. Okay? Look at all that. All right. That's what they wanted to see. Often naked in these exhibitions, Baartman was sometimes suspended in a cage on stage while being poked, prodded, and groped. Her body was characterized as grotesque, lascivious, and obscene because of her protruding buttocks, which was due to a condition called statogopia. I think I'm saying that right. That occurs naturally among people in arid parts of southern Africa. She also had elongated labia, a physical feature derogatively referred to as a Hottentot apron. All right. So let's talk about statogopia. Okay, because this look that Sarah Baartman had is a disorder. Like, it wasn't just like naturally occurring, like, oh, this is, something that all black women have, these big round bottoms. No, that's not it at all. Let me find the right screen that I want to share with you guys. Okay. So just so you can get a full picture of what statogopia looks like, this is what it looks like. This is what it does, right? And the funny thing is, this is not uncommon today to see this, right? As soon as I saw this, y'all know what I was thinking. You know exactly what I was thinking as soon as I saw this. I'm gonna show you. Where is it? Here we go. We're doing it to ourselves on purpose. Look at it. We are doing it to ourselves. This is not a naturally occurring phenomenon. Listen, I'm not saying that women in Africa aren't blessed with big bottoms and stuff, but I had never heard of statogopia until now. Okay? But it also makes a lot of sense as to why African women are shaped the way that they are. The article said that this is a common disease condition. I don't want to call it disease. This is a common condition in parts of South Africa, in parts of Southern Africa. But we are now doing it to ourselves. We're doing it to ourselves on purpose so that we can be poked and prodded and groped. Why else would you emulate a condition that caused this woman so much pain? I'm not understanding how we find ourselves making ourselves a spectacle. There is nobody's kidnapping you. Nobody's coming to your home in the middle of the night. These girls are laying down to have this done to them in hopes of getting more attention. In hopes of what? Being chosen, in hopes of being saved, in hopes that this will make this, this will be what it takes for them to make them a star. It's just crazy to me how the irony of it all. The irony. And we like to hold up Sarah Bartman so much as an example of, oh, Black women are so beautiful that white men were kidnapping them and they were parading them around and they were showing them off and as if that's something to brag about. There's nothing wrong with being happy about being beautiful, right? But why is our beauty based on the size of our behind? Why is that? Why is so much of our self-worth, or how much worth people think we deserve, based on the size of our behinds? Trying to emulate a woman who had a malady. That wasn't normal. She didn't do squats. She didn't ask for that butt. She didn't go lay up with Dr. Miami and get injected. No, this was a condition of hers. And today we have turned around and made it some type of token, some type of award, like as if the bigger the butt, the closer to God or something. But in the meantime, chasing this very thing. Oh no, let's look at and that's a man. That is a man. That's a man doing this. It's ridiculous. Hold on, I did accidentally close the wrong tab because now I can't find it. All right, but let's see. Okay. And so this is, they call this a botched BBL, but if it wasn't for the fact that it was red, she would probably keep this. If it wasn't for the fact that it was red and lumpy, she would keep this. But it looks just like the picture I showed you earlier. Why would you ever want to deform yourself like this for? Listen, okay? It doesn't make it right. It doesn't make it right at all. But you could say women like Nicki Minaj and Cardi B, they did their bodies to help their rap careers, and look at them and it worked for them and blah, 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 blah. And hence that is part of the problem, right? They get these women who they pay handsomely, although only a small fraction of what the executives are making off of them. Like, if y'all think Cardi B got money, imagine the white men who are standing behind her, managing her, producing her, running the corporation. Imagine how much money they're getting off of her. Okay, but so they hold up these women as if they're the ideal that all brown girls should aspire to. These women who sing songs that are so raunchy you can't even repeat the lyrics, about very explicit acts, and we're told that, oh, this is who you should try to be like, this is who you should try to aspire to, when there was a time when in the Black community, like, listen, when I was little, Black girls just didn't do certain things. I remember it very clearly. And like in middle school, high school, when people started experimenting and stuff, Black girls just didn't do certain things. Y'all know what I'm saying? That was, you wanted that, you had to go over there to Becky and them. That's why they started calling it Becky. They don't call it Keisha. They call it Becky, okay? But you had to go over there with Becky and them for certain things. Black girls just didn't do certain things. But now, we how do we get there? How do we get here? Why is it considered more desirable to be thought of as loose than chaste and modest? And here's the thing, the majority of y'all that's out here being loose don't have anything to show for it. You don't. Because if you did, it wouldn't be all these broke, homeless, poor, single mothers. I'm just going to be honest with you. The Bible talks about even prostitutes make sure they get paid, but y'all just out here being hoes. I'm not even going to call you whores, because whores are responsible and about their business. Y'all just out here being hoes. And for what? And it was wrong. Okay, it was wrong back then. But I grew up in the age of, if you're going to do wrong right. Right? That was what we were taught. Like, no, you're not supposed to have sex until you get married. But, if you're going to have sex before you get married, at least protect yourself. At least be smart about it. At least get something out the deal, ladies. Don't just be laying there all messed over and have nothing to show for it. Still got to worry about your rent getting paid and your lights getting cut off, okay? And so there was a time when that was the general mindset. Like, well, if I'm going to give you something, you got to give me something. But y'all have totally abandoned that mindset. And I, for the life of me, do not understand this whole, I'm going to be an independent, strong, independent, sexually liberated woman. I don't understand why you are so eager to give a part of yourself away that you don't even demand the slightest respect. You don't care about how he treats you. You don't make him feed you. You don't make him do nothing. All he got to do is call you and say, hey, let me pull up. If I am going to embark upon a journey, I want to see growth in this journey, right? I want this journey to make me better. Like when I decided, hey, I don't want to be the weight I am anymore. I want to lose weight. Okay. So for like the first 3 months, I was just working out and I wasn't focusing on my diet that much because I just wasn't ready to let it go. Okay. I wasn't ready to let the sugar go. I wasn't ready to let the junk food go. And so, yes, I was working out and I wasn't seeing any results. Right. But then I changed my diet and now I'm seeing results. Okay. Now what I want to see is happening. So I'm going to continue this way. Where is the journey of feminism and sexual liberation driving Black women? Are we seeing Black women get married and end up happily ever after? Like, are Black women growing up, going to college and getting married in the midst of all their sexual liberation? Like, are they out here finding husbands in their whole phase and then they go off and live happily ever after? Is that what's happening here? Are Black women in a better position? Has being sexually liberated put us in a better position in society? Has it changed the way that we are hypersexualized? So why do we continue doing this? Why do we continue digging this ditch of hopelessness? Because listen, every time you lay down with a man, you're hoping that this one is different. You're hoping that this one really likes me. I was watching The Never Ever Mets. It's this show on OWN, and it's the sidebar. It's called The Never Ever Mets. It's this show on OWN, and it's these couples who have been dating virtually for a while. Like, they met online, and they've been dating for like months and years. These are grown-ups, okay? Talking about for months and years they didn't have time to get together, but I digress. That's a whole nother topic, okay? But in the show, they're seeing each other for the first time. Like, the first night there, this couple gets it on in the shower. And in the confessional, the girl is like, well, I need to see if we're compatible in that area. Like, I need to know if this is gonna work. Excuse me? You don't even know if you like this person for real. Listen, you don't even know if you like him for real. You don't know if y'all are compatible with your clothes on. Why are you trying to see if you're compatible with your clothes off? That's just crazy. And then on national television for the world to see you have sex with a man the first day that you actually lay eyes on him. But if you say anything about it, don't kink shame. You can't be sex shaming. No, bring back some. Y'all need some shame. Y'all need some boundaries. Y'all need some guidelines. Because guess what happens? You call yourself being sexually liberated out here, doing what you want to do, going where you want to go, and then you end up in a hospital in the freaking stirrups with the doctors asking you all kind of invasive questions, and you can't figure out why. When if you would not have, I say this all the time, if you don't put yourself in certain situations, certain things are just not going to happen to you. I'm gonna tell y'all a wild story. Wild story. And I'm saying it's wild now, looking back on hindsight, because I can only thank the Most High for saving me. Like, it clearly was some angels watching me. So many moons ago, I went on a date. I was living in New Jersey, went on a date with this dude from Bergen County, which that was the first and last time I ever dated anyone from Bergen County. But anyway, went on a date with this dude from Bergen County. We went to the city. We go to a club in the city. We get to the club. We're having a good time, whatever. All his friends show up. Now, all of a sudden, he's more interested in what his friends is doing. And I ain't never been one to, like, not have attention. Like, why am I here if you're not going to pay attention to me? Take me home. He didn't want to take me home when I wanted to go home. Fine, I'm leaving. I go get in the cab, okay? I'm in the cab, about to go home. This guy walks up and offers to pay for my cab. And now, mind you, going from New York City back to New Jersey, that's a ticket like that. That's going to at least run you 50, okay? And I did not know him. He just came out of nowhere, opened the door, or was the door already? I don't remember. But he's like, here's my car. You know, you can run my car for the ride. Just call me when you get home, blah, 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 blah. Now, if I would have been smart at that moment, I would have just been like, oh my gosh, thank you so much, and took my butt home, right? That's what I should have did. Should have took my butt home. But no, with me thinking, ooh, time for an adventure, right? And I'm not going to say I was being a hoe, because I did not sleep with him. I took my butt back home. Okay, I didn't sleep with him. But we get in the car. We get in the car with him and some of his friends, right? Do not do this at home, okay? Do not try this at home. This is dangerous, all right? I wasn't in my right mind. In the city, head to a diner, have some dinner, stop by a few other places. It's a good time. The sun is coming up. It's time to go home. No, literally, the sun is coming up. It's time to go home, okay? We in a car. The person that's driving pulls up at Buddy's spot. And I was like, well, I'm not going in there. Like, nah, you can take me back to Jersey. He's like, yeah, I'm gonna take her to Jersey, and he dropping Buddy off. Now I'm already like, okay, he gonna try to push up, whatever. I'm used to it. Like, okay, you gonna try to push up, whatever. Just take me to Jersey. Child, before we could get to the freaking bridge, he pulling over trying to climb on top of me. Hold on, partner. No, sir. This is not the program. Thank God New York City is full of subways. I was able to hop out, jump on the train. I had to take the train to the bus, whatever, but I got back to Jersey just fine. But if it had not been, like, it's some stories I look back over my life and I'm like, God, it was only you. It was only you. Like, looking out for babies and fools. Because I was definitely being a fool at that moment. I should have never done that. That story could have ended so horribly and so tragically, and nobody would have known where I was. This is before Life 360 and Find My Phone, and I don't think iPhones had locations at that time. So this is before all that. Very, very stupid thing that I did. I'm saying that to say we have got to be careful of the situations that we are putting ourselves in, ladies. Not just on a short-term day-to-day, but even once you consider yourself in a relationship with someone, or even once you feel a little bit more comfortable with someone. Okay, there's always room for miscommunication and misunderstandings. And so what you need to make sure that you are doing is making sure that your words and your actions line up. Okay, because if you're sitting here on one side of your neck talking about, oh no, I'm a Christian, I'm saving myself for marriage, but then every time he sees you, you got on a crop top, your stomach hanging out, your cheeks is hanging out. Anytime you sneeze, he can see all your business. Like, your words and your actions are not matching up. And so it's hard to pinpoint you. And so why would any man want to be with that? Why would anybody want to deal with that? You're double-minded and unstable. If you're saying, listen, I'm trying to be a woman of God, this is how I want to preserve myself, then that has to be your action. Saying it is nothing. And see, this is why we get caught up in these crazy abusive relationships, right? Because a man will look you in the eye and be like, oh, but I love you. And then turn around and smack you. Or, oh, I love you, but then turn around and verbally abuse you, call you ugly, tell you got a big head, tell you you fat, tell you ain't never going to amount to nothing. But, oh, he loves me. I can tell you I love you all day long. But if I'm abusing you, then I don't love you. My actions determine my real feelings, okay? And so you can sit here and say you're a woman of God all day long and you deserve respect and you're wifey material all day long, but are your actions supporting that? You, God, and the devil know the truth about you. Them three entities that you cannot lie to. 3.5, because some of y'all be lying to yourselves. But, well, 2.5. 2.5. But you can't keep saying one thing and doing another. You want the result of the thing that you say, but you don't want to put in the work. Okay. It's like somebody sitting back talking about, I'm a millionaire. I own this. I own that. I got this. I got that. And that's that whole, speak it into existence, say it until you see it bull crap. If you're not putting any actions behind your words, faith without works is dead. If you're not putting any actions behind your words, then you are just making noise. You can get mad when they call you a hoe, but if you're acting like a hoe, then whose fault is that? And I understand it's 2025 and we're supposed to be in this postmodern third wave feminism equality, blah, blah, blah. We're all the same. Gosh dang it. I hate these new things that TikTok does. We're supposed to be all the same or whatever. Where was I? Okay. But we're not. And us as women have to understand that, like, this limbo that we are in, it's really affecting all of us. It affects all of us. It's not just you being a hoe is not just affecting you, because you have to hoe with someone. You have to hoe with someone's son and or someone's husband, like y'all like to do. Okay, so it's not just you. I was talking to my husband. I forgot what we were talking about. And I was telling him that, listen, I learned a long time ago that a lot of times the only thing that's keeping a man from doing something he shouldn't be doing is a woman approaching him. A gazelle does not walk up to a lion for no reason. They avoid the lion at all costs. If they see the lion over there, they're going over there. Because she is smart enough to know that the lion is a hunter and it will hunt her if given the opportunity. And sometimes a man is just trying to be on his best behavior. But here you come, switching your little hips and blinking your little eyelashes and pursing your little lips. Yes, you have a responsibility to help your brother refrain from lust. You absolutely do. If listen, I have a car. I have a nice car. I like my car. When I get out my car, I lock my car because I don't want anyone else in it. Okay. Now, yes, it is illegal to break into someone's car. You can go to jail. You know, good and dang on well, you're not supposed to break into someone's car. However, as the owner of said car, I don't want to go through the headache and the trouble that I'm going to have to go through to get to be made whole if someone breaks into my car. I got to file a police report. I got to go through the insurance. Who knows? You know what I'm saying? Investigations. I got to answer questions, cameras and pictures and blah, 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 whatever. I got to go through all this stuff. Whereas if I would have just protected what was mine in the first place, this could have been avoided. And so, ladies, when you refuse to lock up what is valuable to you, what is important to you, you then have to deal with the after effects of it being spoiled. I don't know if you listen, it is people on YouTube and TikTok talking about how they are living with HIV. How some of them are spreading HIV knowingly. And now that they got this medicine out, which makes it undetectable, and then they have the PrEP was supposed to like prevent it. People feel like it's a free for all out here. So why do I have to tell you my status? You go get some medicine. You'll be fine. What if I don't want to be on medicine for the rest of my life? Like, what if I have an adverse effect to the medicine? What if I can't afford the medicine? But when you are not guided in your thinking, when you're not following the commandments and the ways of the Most High, these are the situations that you find yourself in. There is no way to be a hoe that is going to be good for your soul. It is not. You are continually giving yourself away and giving yourself away. When a woman lays down, it is supposed to create a connection, okay? You cannot deny the effects of oxytocin. It is a very real hormone. We're both supposed to feel it when we capitulate, and we're supposed to be in love. And it's like the boy who cried wolf. right? Because you keep telling your body, oh, I want to be in love. Oh, I want to be in love. Oh, I want to be in love. But then you really don't want to be in love. So now you're in a constant state of confusion. So now next time somebody really comes and try to love you, you can't fix yourself to love this person back because you've been so used to forcibly not loving someone. You know what I mean? When you like somebody and they don't like you back, or girls, you done gave it up and you all but crazy in love and he's not paying you any attention now because he done moved on to the next. So now you got to get through that heartache. You got to keep denying your feelings. You got to find all these distractions and go through all this hard, long process. Whereas if you would have kept your legs closed in the first place, then none of this would be happening to you. You wouldn't be crying. You wouldn't be eating. You wouldn't be starving yourself. You wouldn't be calling his phone all hours and no clock, keying his car and throwing rocks at his mama's house windows. Nothing about this is advantageous to you. They just keep showing you women who have been able to make a couple of $1 million. Listen, I'm not saying they're not paying these hoes well. They are paying these hoes well. But your soul. Can you look at yourself in the mirror when you wake up in the morning? Not can you look at yourself, can you look at your family? Romans 1:26, for this cause God gave them up to vile affections, for even their women did change the natural use to that which is against nature. Hello? Surprise, shalom and shalom, sis. Thank you for joining me. What profited a man to gain the whole world? What profited a woman to gain all the Louis bags, all the Chanels, all the Birkins, all the Hermes? What profiteth a woman to be in a Rolls Royce, a Maserati? What profiteth a woman to live in the biggest mansion or the highest penthouse and lose her soul? If money alone was the answer to people's problems, then we wouldn't have all these billionaires and tech giants and everybody else jumping to their demise, destroying themselves and their families. You would think that if I'm got all the money in the world, there's no reason for me to have a drug addiction. I'm happy. I got money. All my bills is paid. If that's the answer. And now the Bible does say that money answereth all things. Yes, it absolutely does. The amount of money in my pocket definitely has an effect on my mood. Absolutely. I'm not going to lie to you about that. But when you start talking about the love of money, you have to understand love is an action word. And so you do things, you go the extra mile, you do the thing you're not supposed to do to get it. And now we have a problem. This is where the problem comes in. People think that natural affection is just going with the opposite sex. This also speaks to trying to not feel emotions when coming together with a man. Thank you, sis. That's exactly what I was saying. You keep turning it off and turning it off and turning it off. And then when some nice, decent country boy want to come and sweep you up and give you the life that you say you've always wanted, you don't know how to receive it. Those emotions don't work for you anymore. It's like a pathological liar. They're just so used to lying. They don't know how to tell the truth. I don't know if you've ever been around a person that just lies all the time. Like, you don't even trust them to tell you if it's sunny outside. That's how much they lie. It's the same thing when you keep denying what is supposed to happen. You're supposed to connect with the person that you're laying down with. That's why it's meant to keep two people together. I love my husband. Listen, my man, okay? But yes, there have been some times when we have had some arguments and I didn't particularly like him. or he was getting on my nerves, or heck, I might have been getting on his nerves. But we was able to seduce each other some kind of way. And now that we've come together and we're back lovey-dovey, now let's sit down and talk. Now that we've released some oxytocin, now we can sit down and talk. But see, here's the whole roller coaster. This is what I'm gonna call it, the whole roller coaster. You start dating, y'all fall in love. You fall in love, not him. You call yourself fall in love, right? You give him some, y'all, start hunching or whatever. He causes a fight. Maybe he got to go home with his wife for the weekend. Maybe the holidays are coming up. Maybe he just want to hang out with his boys. Maybe he just tired of you. For whatever reason, he starts a fight. Y'all end up arguing. Y'all don't talk for a few days. He don't talk to you for a few days because you're still texting and calling. And then he pop up a few days later. He tell you some good stuff. Y'all hang out. Y'all sleep together. You back in love again until he gets tired of you and needs to do something else. And I call this the whole roller coaster because it never leads anywhere. You just keep going on all these highs and lows with this person. But it's not the highs and lows of a marriage. It's not the highs and lows of people trying to build a relationship. It is what's the word I'm looking for? Fabricated. It's like it's fabricated. Like it's made up. It's done on purpose. Y'all get caught up in the highs and lows because it's emotional. Right? And you are not using your emotional energy for what it's meant for. You're not praying. You're not seeking the Lord. You're not trying to be a help to others. You're not using your empathy to try to win souls for Christ. You're not using your sympathy to show kindness to your friends and neighbors. What are you doing? You're wasting your emotional energy on this man who could care less about you. You are one of 20. Please, y'all, stop thinking that you are ever the only one. If you are not married, you are not ever the only one. Y'all got to stop. That's the problem. Y'all have to stop thinking like that. You have to stop thinking like, oh, he loves me so much. He's not going to be with nobody else. No, you love him so much. You're not going to be with anybody else. But men and women do not operate the same, boo-boo. He will get right up off you, wash himself off, and go on about his business. Maybe he'll call you. Maybe he won't. It don't make a difference to him. You're absolutely right. We should have feelings and emotions when laying down with our husbands. Women these days want to be dogs, just committing acts, going to get you. Yes, perfectly said. Perfectly said. That's exactly the problem. Women are trying to be men. You're trying to be a man. You don't have to like the history of men and women. You don't have to like the history of marriages. It does not matter how you feel about polygyny. I said polygyny as in multiple wives, not polygamy as in multiple wives and husbands or girlfriends and boyfriends or everybody just sleeping with everybody. It doesn't matter how you feel about it, okay? The fact of the matter is that it was a thing, it was a lifestyle, and it was going on, right? Now, whatever you and your man decide, that's between you and your man. However, you as a woman should know your limits. Like, you should know one man is all you can handle. I don't know why you're out here trying to juggle multiple men as if you're some kind of pimp or player or something or other. Let me tell y'all something that I had to learn, okay? Because it's all about the bag. Everybody is all about the bag right now. I can't be with no broke. It's all about the bag right now. But can I tell you that a man can spend money on you and not care about you at all? I know you find that hard to believe, and that's maybe because you've never been around the kind of men who can spend any significant amount of money on you and not care. But I'm here to tell you that once they reach certain income levels, they'll spend money on you. They'll take you out to eat. They'll buy you this. They'll take you here. They'll buy you that. And then when they're done playing with you, they want you to go and sit in your little corner and be there and be quiet until he comes back to play with you again. A woman in our nature, we don't operate like that. When we love you, we want to be in your skin. We want to be up under you all the time. You can tell when a woman loves a man. It's obvious. And she's going to make everything she does about that man. Y'all know when one of y'all homegirls done got some and it's good, or when she done met somebody and she all in like and infatuated, that's all she talks about. Before she make a decision, well, let me check with him and see what he gonna do. Let me see if he making plans for us. Let me see if we already got something else going on. Her whole life becomes about him. That's what's supposed to happen. Remember, you're supposed to be with the person who you promise to love, cherish, honor, and obey for the rest of your life as long as you both shall live. That's what's supposed to happen. If every time I lay down with a man, I connect with this man, I imprint with this man on a spiritual level, whether I want to or not. Whether I want to or not. I connect with this man, I let this man into my space, and then I go hop up from him and go and let another man into my space, another man into my spirit. What do you think the condition of your mind state is going to be after all of this? You ever took a bunch of food coloring or paint and just mixed it together, like the red, the blue, the black, the white, the yellow? You just mixed it all together, and then at the end you just had like a mud. It was just a muddle of mess. It was no clear color. There's nothing you could do with this. It's useless. It's just ugly and it's just there. Like, that's what happens to your spirit when you sleep with a bunch of different men. You're mixing a little bit of this. And because you know what my husband pointed out to me the other day? He points this out to me every now and then. And I must be getting bad at it because he pointed it out again. I don't remember what I was saying, but he was like, dang, you starting to talk like me. And it's been like that for a while. I'll pick up his little slang and stuff. But it's just like, as the years go on, I pick up more and more of his stuff. His personality, the way he talks. I don't know. I like him. So maybe it's like a subconscious thing of me wanting to be. I don't know. Like, I'm emulating a thing that I like. I don't know why it is. But this is what I see happening with me and my husband. So now imagine if, okay, I like him. So I'm picking up some of his traits. And then I go and sleep with this one. And I don't know if y'all are out here sleeping with men that you don't like at all. That's odd to me because it has to be a mind thing first. Like, you have to knock down the mental barriers to get there, right? Okay. So, you like him, so you sleep with him and you spend time with him, and then you like him, so you sleep with him and you spend time with him. And then next thing you know, you don't even know who you are anymore because you picking up traits from this one and picking up traits from that one. And then you start doing this behavior, or you start saying these certain words, or you start acting this certain way. No one likes the lock and key analogy, but it is very much real. You don't like the lock and key analogy, but you know good and doggone well you're not giving everybody the passcode to get into your house. You know that. Once you open yourself to an abundance of fornication, it's like a high from drugs. You're always chasing that first hit. That's crazy. A high from drugs. Listen, being a hoe under no circumstances is cool. It's not cool. I'm sorry. Under no circumstances is being a hoe cool. There we go. Let me switch my words around. Under no circumstances is being a hoe cool. It's never okay. It's never cool. It's never okay. Right? But y'all hoes is out here with no goals, no plans, no vision of stopping, no nothing. Y'all not out here trying to find a husband and just going about it the wrong way. Y'all aren't out here looking for love and just going about it the wrong way. No, you are purposing in your mind that I'm going to have sex with who I want to have sex with. I'm going to do what I want to do. What's the end goal? Y'all out here hoeing without a plan and without a purpose, and then you end up with a bunch of babies, no husband. You end up bitter, broken, and disgusted, no husband. And then for you to end up with babies and be bitter. So now you get to pass that bitterness on to the next generation. And this is what I mean when I say being a hoe doesn't just affect you, because now the damage that you have brought upon yourself from your own hoish behaviors, you're going to pass these teachings on to your daughter as if something is just wrong with all men. So now as your daughter is going out here, coming of age and coming to the point in her life where it's time for her to start socializing with men and picking boyfriends and looking at possible husbands, in her mind, all she has is the stories of all these messed up experiences that her mother has told her without telling her the whole truth. That be the key. Y'all don't like to tell the whole story. Paxton and Atticus, ladies and gentlemen. Y'all are 7 minutes late. Oh no. That's okay. How y'all doing? Bruh, why you gonna sit on my lap?
Because there's nothing else to sit.
Okay, here you go. You okay, Pax? Did Daddy hear yet? All right, y'all. Thank you so much for hanging out with the 3Bs, Birkins, babies, and bitterness. Exactly. That be what they end up with. And some of y'all don't even end up with Birkins. Y'all end up with bags from BB or whatever. But not that matters. Not that matters. I'm just saying. You know, they used to say if you can't do wrong, if you're gonna do wrong right. But y'all, we have not figured out how to do wrong right. There's no way to do wrong right. There's no way. Because once you caught up in wrong, it's going to have its way with you. Oh, it's going to have its way with you. The wrong that you think that you being so slick about, stop taking God's grace for granted. Stop taking his grace for granted. You think it's cute because you ain't got pregnant. You think it's cute because ain't nothing happened to you. You happen to be able to escape all of your situations. I'm here to tell you, though, one day that grace is going to run out. Stop taking it for granted. Get serious about God. Get serious about his word, man. Get serious about your life. Get serious about your life. You don't have to be unhappy. You don't have to feel unloved. You don't have to feel empty. And listen, I'm not saying marriage is the answer for everybody. Cool. You saying, hey, I'm choosing not to be married. I think it's better for me to be single. I don't want the responsibilities that come with marriage. Cool beans. Then stop acting like you're married. You can't say that you don't want to be married, but then you are turning around and marrying people, if you know what I mean. Because you're going to end up with the effects of marriage. You're going to end up with the effects of sex. How about that? All right. Thank y'all so much for hanging out with me this evening. I hope something that I said was helpful, whether you're listening live or on the replay. You okay? Yeah. Okay. Make sure you join us tomorrow. What?
Can I say something?
Yes, go ahead.
My tooth fell out tonight.
Oh yeah, show them. You gotta turn this way so we can see it. No, that way. Oh, there it is. Smile. Another one of his baby teeth fell out. I'm not ready, y'all. I'm not ready. Oh, gosh. This is my last littlest baby. So, ugh.
Well, you still have breathe.
Huh?
You still have breathe.
That's not my baby. You're my baby. Like, I birthed you. You're my baby. You're my last. You are the youngest of the people that I have birthed. So, y'all pray for me. I'm not going to be okay. Y'all pray for me. Join us tomorrow, 8 o'clock for Sabbath class with your boy, Monologue McGay, M-O-N-O-L-O-G, M-A-G-A-D, brought to you by Fruit Forward Fellowship. You can tune in next Thursday, same black time, same black station. Why Boaz don't want your ass. Just in case you didn't make it over to the YouTube, you can head over to the YouTube. Like, share, subscribe, turn on your notifications. Huh? Go ahead.
Tomorrow we will me and my brother will be doing a video of the Fortnite live event tomorrow.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. Oh, y'all taking video of it?
Yes.
What? Oh yeah, y'all should definitely take video. It's a live event. You should definitely take video so people can see it. Yeah, that's cool. Okay. Head over to the YouTube Monologue McGat. Like, share, subscribe, turn on your notifications. Listen, leave a comment, even if you're just saying hi, hello. Every little thing helps. Every like helps. Every share helps. Every comment helps. So please, please, please like, share, subscribe. Leave a comment. Let us know you was on the page. If you like something that I said, or you would like to just be part of the ministry efforts here at the House of Mono, please head over to the Cash App, $ the House of Mono. $1 or $2 will do. We appreciate everyone who gives every week. I thank you so much. Thank you, Barbara, on the TikTok. Thank you to everybody on the TikTok. Thank you for your likes. Thank you for staying. Thank you for hanging out. Listen, if you are not following me on the socials, come on, be my friend. Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, and I'm on Snapchat. Okay, I do keep up with my snaps. I'm on like a 14 or 15 day snap streak with one of my kids. Okay, so I do keep up with my snaps, but
make sure to like and subscribe to our channel.
Oh yes, please head over to the Pax and Add a YouTube channel, PAX and Add a ATTA. Give the boys a like, subscribe to their channel so y'all can watch them play video games and stuff, right? Okay, anything else, guys?
Make sure you don't miss our video tomorrow. And Atticus smoke pot is looking dry.
All right, thank y'all so much for hanging out with me. Again, I hope that something I said was helpful to you, whether live or on the replay. Please feel free to hit me up, Miss Mono's World at gmail.com for questions, concerns, advice, any of that. I check that email all the time, so I will definitely see it. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I love you. Shalom. Shalom.
Make sure to subscribe.
And good night.
Doing gang things.
Mono.
Living super clean. Daddy came up.
One time for my king doing king things. Mom these hoes cause he know he got a good thing.
Tune in to Why Boaz Don't Want Your Ass with your host, Miss Mono.
Shalom and shalom, sisters and cousins, and praise the Lord saints. It's your favorite housewife, Miss Mono.
Every Thursday from 8 to 10 p.m. live on YouTube at Miss Mono's World and Monologue My God. Now also available on the Saya TV on Roku and Fire Stick.